Egypt campaigns and very aggressive terrorism campaigns. And we do have an excellent intelligentsia. We do have excellent experience, and we have the know-how of dealing with this kind of terrorism attacks and terrorism defense and terrorism problems.
Definitely.
And I believe what we have done and what we have achieved up till now is a great plus for Egypt and the Egyptian military and the Egyptian police. We do have problems, we do have challenges, but I believe, to answer your question in a very appropriate way, the world who suffer from terrorism needs Egypt for help and for advice, because we have been warning the rest of the world of this extension of terrorism, of this extension of receiving, you know, all those fanatic ideas and fanatic ideologies and all those extremists, and now everybody suffers, and we are all in one boat, and we all need each other. So it's a collaboration of all countries together to fight against challenges, including terrorism.
Definitely. In this sense of collaboration, Mr. Ambassador, let's talk about the sense of strategic partnership in combating terrorism, and how can we build on that and achieve what Dr. Mona said, this sense of exchange of expertise in that regard?
Well, Egypt is a very important country in the region, politically and security-wise also. At this stage, we are combating terrorism in Sinai, alongside our borders with Libya, for example, the eastern part of Egypt, which is Gaza, and our eastern borders, sometimes from the south. The only army which is solid and coherent now is the Egyptian army in the area. We have our intelligence work, which is very important, and we communicate with the outside world and our friends in this regard. So the European Union or the European countries, they would like very much to work with Egypt in combating terrorism, because we can talk and understand each other with, for example, with the Libyans, with the Syrians, and with the some Arab Gulf states, for example, with the Sudanese. We know the area, we know the mentalities, and with the views of the fanatics and extremists. So they cannot do without us. We need them also in technology, equipment, in combating terrorism. So it's mutual
win-win situation,
and a win-win situation, and for example, combating illegal migration through the Mediterranean.
Right, the migrant crisis.
We have a long coast with facing the European continent. We have neighborhood with Libya. So this is very important to them also. So cooperation in this regard is very important also to us.
Definitely. Well, more than one important gain actually out of those high-profile visits to the country, diplomatically, politically, and definitely economically. The upcoming report is going to highlight more about the deals that has been signed between Egypt and France, deals that are worth $2 billion during President Hollande's visit.
signed a range of agreements worth $2.26 billion during French President François Hollande's two-day visit to Cairo, which began on Sunday. The agreements are in the fields of energy, defense and security, among others. General Electric penned a protocol of cooperation worth $250 million with the Egyptian Electricity Transmission Company in the presence of Egyptian President Fattah al-Sisi and his French counterpart François Hollande. The deal means that General Electric will provide Egypt with its advanced grid solutions technologies at 4 substations aimed to strengthen Egypt's national electricity grid. These substations will connect 7 gigawatts of power to the national grid, which will connect over 6.5 million Egyptian homes. Also, a French company announced that it signed 2 energy agreements with Egypt. The first is a cooperation agreement for the development of renewable energy with the Egyptian National Renewable Energy Association and the Egyptian Electricity Transport Company. The second agreement was signed between the company and the Egyptian National Gas Holding Company, which will see Egypt import liquefied natural gas. An agreement between the Egyptian government and a French defense and security company was also signed during President Hollande's visit. The deal will see the company provide Egypt with a new biometric and document scanning system at 22 land, air and sea ports. The system includes eye, face and fingerprint identification technology designed to improve security standards. Egypt and France also agreed that a military telecommunications satellite will be built by a French company. Egypt's National Authority for Tunnels and the French Joint Ventures for Construction signed an agreement worth 1.2 billion euros to build 17 kilometers on the 3rd line of Cairo's metro, which is currently under construction. At the opening of the Egyptian-French Business Forum on Monday, President el-Sisi said that France is Egypt's 9th largest trading partner with a trading volume of 2.58 billion euros. El-Sisi said that Egypt was looking forward to a partnership with French corporations on major national projects as the Suez Canal Development Zone at the opening of a Franco-Egyptian Economic Forum attended by his French counterpart during his second 2-day visit to Egypt. The French president's second visit to Egypt in less than a year since the new Suez Canal inauguration in August 2015 included talks with his Egyptian counterpart about regional issues and means to enhance bilateral relations and combat terrorism.
Merci d'abord. Merci de parler le français. Merci d'avoir une chaîne de télévision qui s'exprime en français. Merci aussi à la presse francophone, il y en a une aussi. La francophonie, elle n'est pas un cadeau simplement de ceux qui parlent le français. La francophonie, c'est un combat. Un combat pour des valeurs, un combat pour de la culture, un combat pour la diversité. Et donc, nous voulons ici, à l'occasion de cette visite d'État, promouvoir la francophonie. Et je veux aussi montrer un engagement personnel. Nous accueillerons plus d'étudiants égyptiens en France pour que justement ils puissent revenir ensuite en Égypte et faire en sorte que la francophonie continue d'être promue comme vous le faites aujourd'hui.
Well, Professor Mona, thinking out of the box and, you know, trying to establish foundations that are tackling this issue of soft power, how can we utilize the youth potential in that? The youth can play a very important role in this issue of soft power and extending a hand and addressing the other. What do you think?
You really touched something, the topic that is the closest to my heart, which is the youth. Working with youth as
the future, you know?
Absolutely. They are the present and the future. I always say, when you think past, you are mature. When you think present, you're wise. But when you think future, you're young.
Right.
And this is, youth gives you the youth. It gives you the young...
The vitality and the push.
Incentives.
And the push and the incentive.
To stay always young and to deal with youth. In fact, I'm personally got my education in French. So I'm French education, 100% Catholic school, French sisters and French style. And that was, it helped me a lot reading French literature, reading
French culture,
getting exposed to the French culture, and it enriches. The more we get exposed to different cultures, like also the Russian literature is very rich. Of course, the British, the Old English literature is very rich as well. So the more we get exposed to different cultures, the more tolerant we are and the richer we are. And this is extremely important for soft power. Based on this, you value more and more the power of art, the power of art and culture, because to create a balanced life, you need to balance everything with it. You need to be physically fit, emotionally fit, spiritually fit, and also culturally fit, because culture is your as we say in French, c'est jouir la vie, it's life. So based on this, I have established my new baby, my new company baby called Soft Power Productions.
And this without mentioning names, Professor Mona, but anyhow.
This I have done this to encourage youth, to encourage young Egyptian musicians who love art, who love music, who love dance, who love painting, who love singing.
Extension and extending soft power to the world, to message to the world.
To travel and be exposed, to share their talents, to share their music, their poetry, their songs. And this is very important to expand the power of soft power. I always say, instead of carrying a weapon, they are carrying their violin. Instead of sending wrong words and insulting the other, they are writing poetry and praising the positiveness and the beauty, and even praising God for all His blessings. So it does change the human being to get better and to enjoy life better.
Definitely. Mr. Ambassador, well, ambassadors themselves, part of the job is definitely public relations and making an extension through soft power with the people, you know. Ambassadors are assigned to different countries of the world, and they are representatives of their countries. How are we working on that for the future generations, those who are joining the diplomatic field? Is there a sense of special training concerning this issue of soft power, making use of soft power?
Regarding, we have two different fields. One inside the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and its embassies abroad, and the other is our Ministry of Culture and Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it has its own training for the staff since they start from the Diplomatic Institute for languages and the lectures to how to be exposed to the cultures of the whole world, and then comes the practical work, communicating with the other diplomats of the different countries, especially the French, of course, talking about the French culture. The Ministry of Culture and Ministry of Education, they have what's called our cultural centers abroad. And this is also a part of our embassies abroad. It has some activities, it's some cultural works, it has some exchange of scholarships between the two countries. exposing our history.
And through also the State Information Service, I guess it has a very important role.
Of course, the State Information Service also, they are playing an important role in this regard. And when President Hollande have declared that he is going to increase the French scholarships for our youth from Egypt. This is very important also in increasing our exchanges, our cultural exchanges between our two countries. For ambassadors and diplomats abroad, of course, we learn from our colleagues from different countries. The French language, especially, we have a lot of Egyptians speaking French for years, and they are very happy to when they hear you speaking their own language. The French people, French ambassadors, for example. So it gives us a very good experience dealing with the diplomats everywhere. This is very important also.
Yeah. How can we, Mr. Ambassador, also pay special emphasis to the partnerships in the field of education and exchange of expertise, and also encouraging the youth, as Professor Mona was talking, concerning sending them, on such important programs and scholarships abroad? What are the gains?
Yeah, we need to increase our missions, educational missions to France, for example. We need to try to get more scholarships from French universities, from even from schools, if possible. We need to exchange cultural parties and celebrations. We need to train our teachers and professors, or exchange the training courses between our two countries, to send our professors and teachers abroad, and for them to come to us and to know about our society. It needs a lot to be done regarding the education and scholarships and exchanging of expertise.
Right. Professor Mona, you worked also in like what we call training the trainers.
Yes.
It's very important, the sense of exposure, how to address the people, how to talk to others, how while you are delivering a speech, what sort of presence should you have, before
Absolutely.
guests. That is very important also because it enhances this communication skills and soft power we're talking about.
You're very right about this, and this we have, for example, at the university and on big scale. When you teach even marketing, in very major part of marketing is teaching communication skills.
Right.
Public speaking skills, leadership skills, you see, because here you're marketing not just the business, but you're marketing your country, you're marketing your culture. It's a tool of soft power. You see, it's a big tool of soft power in media relations, in public relations, in public diplomacy. You see, so it would be great if we have more and more programs of teaching students while they are still in schools, not when they go to university level, but you need, and I would really recommend that Nile TV International and the rest of Egyptian channels give some time to give lessons, like private lessons, but on TV, you see, give lessons of those teaching skills to the audience, and name it. So make it public access.
Yeah. Before like we leave a final word, Mr. Ambassador, what do we need in the coming stage? How can we build on what has been achieved?
Well, we need to, for us in Egypt here, to achieve our goals from the economic and political and security and military cooperation with France and some other countries, we need to improve ourselves also. We need to encourage the investors. We need to improve our communication entities. We need to know how to receive investors and tourists well. We need to how to improve our transportation. All this is very, very important. We need also for our cultural entities to cooperate more with the cultural French Cultural Center, for example, and the embassy here. This is very important. We need to send our students and youth for scholarships and have more training and studies over there.
Definitely, the sky is the limit, and we achieved a lot, but we're looking forward for more. I thank you very much, Professor Dr. Mona Zaki, Global Strategic Consultant, for coming tonight to the show. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Always an honor and a pleasure to have you with us, Excellency Dr. Farghly Abdel Halim Taha, Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you so much for being here on the debate tonight. You really added to the show. Thank you so much for being here. And really valuable information on the show tonight, talking about more than one important aspect: gains in diplomacy, gains in the field of economics, and also in the field of culture and soft power. Well, we'll see you next week. I'm Taha Hussein. Many thanks for watching.
Merci d'abord. Merci de parler le français. Merci d'avoir une chaîne de télévision qui s'exprime en français. Merci aussi à la presse francophone, il y en a une aussi. La francophonie, elle n'est pas un cadeau simplement de ceux qui parlent le français. La francophonie, c'est un combat. Un combat pour des valeurs, un combat pour de la culture, un combat pour la diversité. Et donc, nous voulons ici, à l'occasion de cette visite d'État, promouvoir la francophonie. Et je veux aussi montrer un engagement personnel. Nous accueillerons plus d'étudiants égyptiens en France pour que justement ils puissent revenir ensuite en Égypte et faire en sorte que la francophonie continue d'être promue comme vous le faites aujourd'hui.